Hello and welcome to Critical Political Thinking. My name is Corey Camasso, and this is our Easter Sunday special. Despite what the woke media would like you to hear, we're very happy to say Happy Easter, Happy Passover, Happy whatever it is that you'll be celebrating. We hope that you're very safe with your family, your friends, your loved ones. If you're not with them, please make sure you give them a call, check on them. It's a great time to see how everyone's doing. But while we have you here on our great Easter Sunday, we're going to go over two major topics that have been sweeping the nation. We're going to go over the border crisis in some more detail, let you know what's going on, the status, where Kamala is or lack thereof. Additionally, we're going to talk about how that blends right into our other topic, and that would be the voting suppression, which is located in Georgia. And we're going to explain how both of those topics crisscross, how Major League Baseball, Delta, and Coca-Cola have joined the political sphere, and we'll explain why these companies feel the need to step in and share their woke opinions. Additionally, we'll touch briefly on the Chauvin trial, let you know where it stands and what will be happening in the next week as the trial progresses. Or I should say the witch hunt progresses. So again, thank you so much for watching, and this is a very special Easter Sunday report of Critical Political Thinking. Hello and welcome to our very special Easter Sunday report, where we're going to be going over the major topics in our country this Easter 2021, Easter Sunday. We're going to kick things off pretty much with the border crisis and where we stand. Within the past few days, America has been shown an image of a 5 and I believe a 3-year-old girl dropped at a 14-foot length by two awful coyotes. Clearly disregard for human life. All they wanted to do is make a profit. I'm surprised they even dropped them over the fence and didn't just kill them after they left their parents. But sadly, that's what's happening in many of these cases, and basically the media actually stepped forward and said, we are the ones that claim things are a crisis, and this is not a crisis by any means. I believe that was CNBC, or I should say DNC. Anyway, so basically what you have is you have the media hiding and suppressing the factual cases that are going on down on our southern border, whereas you have something that is, in some cases, 3 times as bad, 300% increase to what the Trump administration had implemented. And that's when he was called racist, xenophobic, misogynist, scumbag, just separating kids from family, kids in cages. Whereas now you have the same situation 10 times worse during COVID. And no one seems to be holding Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, the person he's appointed, accountable. I mean, there are kids in cages, and there is absolutely no plan in place. And how do I know that there's no plan in place? Because if there was, they would be so proud to brag about it. But frankly, they have none. Taken, for instance, the Trump administration in February of last year had around 36,000 immigrants coming into our country illegally. Now, this February, 100% due to the Biden administration. Because keep in mind, hurricanes, they happen every year. Floods, they happen every year. Trouble, it happens every year. Coyotes and gangs and all that other shit, it happens every other year. There's nothing different about this year other than COVID. Okay? But every country's gone through COVID. This isn't just a Mexico exclusive, a Honduras exclusive, a Guatemala exclusive. That's not what's happening. What's happening is these people, well, I shouldn't even say these people. The coyotes were given the A-OK signal by the Biden administration to sneak in as many Democratic illegal voters as they can. Exactly, as they can. And that's where Georgia and Texas stepped in. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. And that is exactly why the liberal media is attacking them. And we'll go over the details. They're all lies. They're all misconceptions. Everything you've heard from the liberal media, it's bullshit. And YouTube will probably suppress and edit this video and call it misinformation. Facebook's already rebanned us. We're banned till the 17th. God forbid we share the goddamn truth. This is what's going on in America. They're suppressing. They're hiding. They don't want you to know what's going on our border. They don't want you to know that Georgia actually did something good, because then other states might follow in their footsteps, and that would completely topple the entire thing that these Democrats are attempting to do in bringing these illegals over to begin with. And that's garner their vote, because the election was way closer than they want you to believe. Even with their changes to election law, I don't want to say illegal changes, but odd changes that only happened in Democratic areas where normally Trump would have won, but Biden magically won. I mean, it's not election fraud by any means, but it is what it is. So now you have a country that's anticipating 200,000 children to come across the border without parents that, will either need to be adopted or paid for by the American taxpayer, or paid for by the American taxpayer to reunite these people and bring over their families, or connect them with families here and supply them with money for the rest of their lives until they're 18, if not longer, if they don't want to get a job, or whatever the case may be, whether they be lifelong welfares, or maybe they will be productive members of society. But I would have much rather, and I'm pretty sure you would have much rather, them come through the country through the legal channels, because those legal channels were set up to ensure that we only get the people into this country that aren't going to destroy the country. They're not murderers, they're not rapists, they're not gang members, they're not here to cause issues. But this influx, they are so incapable of determining and separating the good from the bad that we are now getting stuck with everybody. And they don't care, because it's another vote in their eyes. They don't give a shit. And that's the problem. It was 50 to 80% down under Donald Trump. Illegal immigration was down 50 to 80% under Donald Trump. That took 4 years to do. And within 2 months, the Biden administration has completely unraveled all of that hard work. And now our country is in jeopardy. Our sanctity and the safety of this country is in jeopardy. And you can't say that I'm a racist. Oh, you're a racist. You don't care about children. Bull effing shit. And let me explain why. First of all, if I didn't care about children, then I would say, yeah, send them with the coyotes. Who gives a shit? Bring them on over. I'll help convince them to Republican voters, or help them open their eyes. That's not the problem. That's not what I see. What I see are children being raped, children being hurt. That's things they are scarred for life. And this all could have been done differently had the Democrats not completely screwed up, attempted just to unravel the Trump administration, because that's what it was. Oh, we got to hurry up and undo everything Trump did. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, because he was actually fixing the country. We have to hurry up and screw it back up so that we have control. We have to have something to save the country from, other than we're useless. We already know you're useless. Believe me, it has nothing to do with anything that you can possibly do. So now what you have is a surge. And yes, it is a surge. Screw you, AOC. It is a surge. A surge. You hear me? That's not militaristic. That's not racist. You have a surge, a influx. What is a power surge? Power surge is when you have more than the normal amount of power going through the line. Well, what's more than the normal amount coming up the border? It's a surge. Learn vocabulary. Maybe you didn't learn that in bartending school, but perhaps you should go back to college and pay attention this time around. It's a joke. It really is. And then you have Kamala. There you go. That's going to fix the border. Send Kamala down to the border. Oh, wait, she doesn't want to go to the border. Her little clown cackle. Why do you laugh at everything that has to do with something that is so serious that our country's falling apart? I'll get down there when I get down there. Instead, what you're doing is sitting in your office making phone calls because you're whining you can't get into your vice president's mansion. Wah, wah, wah. So now you're going to sit there on the phone and call Honduras and say, well, what's the problem? Why are your people leaving your country? How can we bail you out as wonderful Democrats so maybe they'll want to... What are you doing? Get to the border. Fix our country. You're the vice president of the United States, not the vice president of Honduras. Get it through your thick skull to fix America first. Go down and seal the border. No more entries until you can figure out and present America with a valid plan to protect those children from being hurt, raped, dropped 14 feet over a fence. Have them have a plan, a clear path to citizenship, not this bullshit that you're putting through. And then you have wonderful states like Georgia, Texas, that not only see the bullshit that's about to happen. So what did they do? Not only did they implement rules and laws that open the door for voting to all the legal citizens, but no, the Democrats can't have that. That goes right against their plan. They're letting all these illegal immigrants in so that they can have no voting, so that they can have no ID voting, so that they can just request an absentee ballot, sign their name, and voila, they can vote. And they can vote Democratic, regardless of whether or not it's a legal vote. They don't care. They don't care about the sanctity of our American elections. They care about bolstering their votes. For if they cared about the sanctity of elections, then they would say, why can't you have a voting ID? Why can't you have identification? Because let me think now, what else do we need identification for? We need identification to purchase alcohol. You need cigarettes. You need it to go on vacation. You need it to get a COVID vaccine. You need it to drive. You need it to get a job. You need it to do just about every major activity in a human's life where identity needs to be protected. That's the point of an identification, to verify who you are, to protect the identity and the sanctity of your vote. One of the most important things you can do as an American. Why would you not want to protect that vote and ensure that your vote actually counts and that some illegal vote didn't just cancel it out? But no, you want to know what they're calling it? They're calling it racist, saying it's eliminating the opportunity for blacks to vote. How? Are you saying they don't have IDs? Are you saying that they are fugitives of the law and can't go to the DMV for fear of being arrested? Are you saying that they can't afford a free identification in the state of Georgia because it's free? So what is your excuse? Why can't they get an identification? Why can't they do what every other contributing American has done? Why? Why is it us that's the racist and not you the racist for not trying to be part of society, to try and separate and segregate yourself by not having an identification like every other American? Just curious. Do you have an answer for that? Then you have them lying through their teeth. You can't even bring a cup of water. That's all Joe Biden's repeating, by the way, because that's the only thing he remembered in his little old brain. Oh, I remember you can't have water. That's an easy one. You can't even have water. There's no empathy there. Let me tell you something, Joe Biden. In order to have empathy, you have to have a brain. You have to understand how to be empathetic. And you, my friend, don't understand how to. If you were empathetic, you would not be allowing these thousands and thousands of illegal immigrants to come across the border illegally, mind you. And on top of that, now you have all of these illegal immigrants coming over and being hurt. So you have no empathy, Mr. Biden. On top of that, you have no empathy for any of the American citizens in the border towns that are now jeopardized by the larger number. I mean, these people are coming up with 10% COVID ratings. That's far below the American standard. And yet now you're forcing them into America, into our borders, and having no empathy for all of those people on the border towns. Do you now? And on top of that, you take into effect that that's all a lie. Because you can have water in line. Not only can you bring your own water and food in line, but you can have anyone bring you water and food. You can have a water station. You can have any of these things. The only thing you can't do is have a member of the other political party or a political party handing out things with names on it, IDs on it. That's why they can't hand out water, because you can put your name. That's what people were doing. They were putting the voting identification, like the candidates' names, on bottles of water and distributing them. That's why they had to do that. People were going around the law, so they had to include that. So it has nothing to do with distributing water. It has to do with distributing paraphernalia and changing someone's idea or their vote. So let's get that through your thick skull. That's not how it works. And then you have the nerve to say that they have decreased the number of ballot boxes. No, they didn't. They secured them. They put them in a central location, one per county. Now, keep in mind, before COVID, they didn't even have these. So once COVID's gone, they would have been gone. So what Georgia actually did was add ballot boxes, but people are too thick to go back a couple months and realize that that's not the case. So what this in fact did is make it more available, but no, the liberal media has to lie and manipulate and bring it back to the water. So then what ends up happening? Let's see here. They increase the number of machines to shorten the lines. Wouldn't that mean more opportunity to vote if you work, if you can't wait in line, you're handicapped? They're doing everything they can to increase the opportunity of voting. And yet, the one thing they did was require voting ID. So, because it kind of makes sense to most Americans, what did they have to do? They had to push it onto these other things and lie and manipulate. And they're not even lying. They're manipulating the truth to fit a narrative. That's exactly what the liberal media does all along. And then, what do you have? You have major companies that were promised kickbacks from the liberal media for supporting these woke narratives. And in turn doing so, they will be getting kickbacks from these Democratic presidents, Democratic governors, Democratic everything, such as Coke, MLB, Delta. Why are they opening their mouths? The MLB had the nerve and audacity to pull the All-Star game from Georgia and eliminate thousands and thousands of jobs that were already in place in Atlanta. And instead, and keep in mind, Atlanta is a stronghold for the African-American community, and it is a Democratic community. So what are you doing? You're taking away Democratic jobs. Way to go, MLB. Way to go. Not only that, you have now alienated an entire voter base simply because you have stated that you don't care about the sanctity of elections. You don't care about truth. You care about milking an election. And my friend, that is not American. Major League Baseball, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Delta Airline, I will never fly with you again as long as I live. Coca-Cola, I don't even drink you anyway. It's too much sugar, garbage product. Why bother killing yourself? My opinion, mind you. But, you have to understand, these are the lies and manipulation that the liberal media is presenting. And they're going to continue to present this and destroy Easter for so many people simply because they are attempting to push a woke narrative. And this woke narrative is so destructive to the fabric of America. They are separating America into racial divides simply so that they can continuously have something to save America from, continuously run on an election because their platform is so weak. Tax, tax, tax. Screw America. Screw everything that our country has been built on so that they can build their power. So that, my friends, is what is happening in America this wonderful Easter week. We hope that you can still have a great Easter, and we can do that by sticking strong, staying with our families, and working together through this to understand and see through the bullshit of the liberal woke media. They are attempting to suppress any contrary thought process, and that is not American. American is when we come to the table with two ideas and work together to make something that works for the whole. And everybody may not fit into that whole, but at least it's better for the majority. And that is not what is happening anymore. Instead, what you have happening are people so infatuated with color, gender, and all the bullshit in life that you really shouldn't or can't change. And in fact, they're finding ways to change it and make it weaker and less than what it truly is. We hope you found this interesting, and we hope you learned a little bit more about the actual border crisis, the failures of Kamala Harris, who has yet to visit the border, yet to have a press conference, and has continued to be the least transparent vice president, and Mr. Biden, the least transparent president in all of American history. Additionally, you have Georgia and Texas bolstering their voting laws, making America a better, safer voting arena. And in fact, what you have are companies that have nothing to do with politics involving themselves in politics in an effort to disenfranchise these Republican people. All in an effort, in our opinion, to garner kickbacks. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Derek Chauvin trial is continuing. It is now going into week 2 of full deliberations and witness testimony. As you can tell, we have done a few episodes on it. We ask you to stop back and check them out. We've covered them in full detail up to the most recent, which was closed on Friday, which would have been 2 days ago. So make sure you check it out and see just exactly what is going on with the Chauvin trial. See how the prosecution is painting the image that Chauvin is a racist and he was working against his training, whereas we know the facts and that he actually followed his training to the T. So hopefully you can find out a little bit more next week as we come to a briefing. We'll have another briefing on the Chauvin trial coming out on Tuesday. So make sure you stop by, check it out, and we'll give you all of the detailed updates. But again, thank you so much for watching. This is critical political thinking. We will continue to bring you unsuppressed truth. However, we are an unpaid, unmonetized, and clearly unshared channel through YouTube and Facebook algorithms. Therefore, we rely on amazing viewers like you to share our channel and help support us so we can continue to grow and continue to provide the truth. It's not free for us to do this, and everything we do out of donation and out of our own pockets. We hope you appreciate everything that we've shared with you today. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, please share them below. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please rumble, and please echo this video. That is the only way we can help share the truth. Thank you so much for watching Critical Political Thinking. My name is Corey Camasso. Happy Easter, happy Passover, happy whatever holiday you celebrate. And God bless America.